music, then you have an idea who is coming on, right? It's been a fantastic year for him, I believe. I mean, from, working on his brand internationally to meeting some of the most popular faces in the music industry in Hollywood, and then coming down to support victims of the water spillage from the Akosombo Dam who were displaced as well, and releasing new music. It's been a great year, and he's here to tell us all about it. Please put your hands together for Edem Goget'em. Hey, yeah, bro. Hey. Okay. Hey. Hi. Good to see you. Have a seat.
Thank you. Where do I say?
On some pearls. Anywhere you want to sit. The whole seat is for you. So wherever you're comfortable. And some pearls and all that. Okay. You don't look bad. How you doing?
I'm greater than Accra.
You're greater than Accra. I know you've been quite busy in the last couple of days. When did you get back to Accra? Because I noticed you were in the Volta region for a while, supporting the victims.
We came back to Accra on Sunday.
Okay.
We go back next week, Saturday.
Yeah.
To Mepe, then Germany, and then Sokwe. 2 other areas that we've discovered. We go back there.
How did you... Nice. But how did you feel when you got there and saw the level of damage?
It was mixed emotions of being very sad, also feeling helpless. Because in as much as you are sending these items to the people, it cannot entirely solve, the problem. People are doing well with their lives. Have a home, have a 2-bedroom nicely built, and then water comes to take it. And so even if you send rice, oil, I mean, it's a form of relief, and it's okay, but they will still have to build a house.
Yeah.
And 1-year-old babies who have to breastfeed, their mothers don't have infant food for the kids, because everybody who is donating is not thinking about the babies and those who are breastfeeding, right? And so these mothers are living on mashkenke to have nutrition for the kids. And so it's a very sad situation. And I tell everybody that it is nowhere near what you see on TV when you get on the ground.
Really?
Yeah, it's more gory when you get on the ground. People are bathing the water that is stagnant now. The bodies of water that are stagnant are also beginning to have stench, and so that might lead to a disease outbreak if care is not taken. It will take months and a year or 2 or 3 for people to bounce back.
To recover.
Yeah.
So then how do you feel when, I mean, yes, I don't like it when we politicize it, but sometimes you listen to some government communicators, and the sanitation minister, for example, says that, we told them to leave, we told them to relocate, and they didn't do it. They didn't listen.
No, I mean, I believe that's absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense, because in life you have to use logic. And so I'll use logic. So you're a mother, and your kid steals your car, drives the car and gets in an accident, and then they have a very deep cut on their arm. When you get to the destination, you don't say, it serves you right. Yeah. You understand? You don't say it serves you right. You take them to the hospital, make sure they are okay, and when it is done, then you address them that you shouldn't have taken my car. And so this is the wrong time to make such a statement as a leader, and where people's families and loved ones are really involved. This is really just the wrong time to make such a statement. And I know from sources that she hasn't been on the ground.
The minister herself?
She wasn't on the ground when she made a statement. And even if you have been on the ground, what happened if it was your relative involved in that? Would you say, I've warned you and you didn't go? And even if you have warned them, where are you sending them to? People have made homes. Their soul and their spirits live in that place. So if you want them to relocate, where? You should tell us, oh, we told them to go to town A or B and they didn't listen. And then I also heard that the day the dam was being opened, they weren't informed on that day. So even if you told them ahead of time, how about the day of opening? So I think it's really upset, and any leader who is a good leader shouldn't exude the kind of utterances she was exhibiting.
I mean, the VRA says they did simulation exercises, and so in fact they went into the community, spoke to the people, etc. And yet you hear from the people and they say, we didn't know that this was going to happen. So it's all very confusing. But I know you have great respect for the president.
Yes, I do.
But he got on there and also made a statement that incurred the wrath of people.
I was disappointed in the president.
In the statement he made?
Yeah, you can have respect for people, and it's because of that respect that the president shouldn't say what he said. And I say that let's stop doing all the book stuff, and let's really use very domestic knowledge for everything.
But he says he was misconstrued. I mean, he was also responding to opposition, making claims that the reason he had not been there early enough was
responding to opposition.
They didn't vote for him.
He might be responding to opposition, but he wasn't talking to opposition. He were talking to the people who were going through what they were going through. And so if he says he's talking to opposition, then once again it's politics. If we can see it from those lenses, but if it is to the people, then that's an insensitive remark. Yeah.
Has the president done a good job so far leading the country?
That's a relative question.
Okay.
I think that with the year of return concept, it's a brilliant idea that has thrown so much light on Ghana as a country, people coming in. I don't know the figures. And so I don't know if it's making so much money for the young people or it's positioning Ghana where it's contributing to the GDP. So yes, for that, I think he has done well. For other areas where we are constantly borrowing, I think he has fallen off. He has fallen horribly. I also don't agree with the concept of people being hungry and then you spend money on wanting to build a church. I don't even think God will agree to that, that his kids will be hungry and then God will agree that he wants to build a church. And so there are other areas that I think he hasn't done well. And then I think for the year of return, it's an amazing initiative.
But you've been to early as well. You were at the Grammys this year. I mean, at the beginning.
It wasn't on government budget.
Oh, no, I know it wasn't.
I want to put that out.
It was on your personal budget. Tell me what the experience was like, getting up close and personal to a body that we all know, is highly revered across the world.
It's on a lot of levels, on a personal level, and which is one of the things I say across every other platform. When I got on the Grammy red carpet, I was holding my iPhone and I realized that every other star who was holding the iPhone didn't have a case. So I quickly removed my case and I put
They didn't have a case?
No.
Hey.
Everybody, Ghana people, why you like phone case?
Because if it falls, really,
Yeah, and then I removed my phone case, right? But that's on a jovial note, but on a serious level, I saw an industry that was more veered towards collaboration and exchange of value and just using that value to go to higher places. I also saw a very orderly system of things being done where you have a certain ticket and where it allows you is where it allows you. That is unlike my home, where somebody you have a complimentary ticket but can sit in VIP. Also, people are open for all levels of conversations, publishing conversations, recording deal conversations, collaborative conversations. And so it's a world that I think coming up, the space we find ourselves in and the people who control TV and talk, because they are low dreamers, and that is not everybody, they put these ideas in your head that these dreams are unattainable. But when I got there, I realized that it's not a walk in the park, but I realized that the world is open for any level of ambition you have. So if you listen to somebody on radio or TV who says, oh, they're gonna need go feel go Grammy, this thing will be so hard. If you lock that in your mind, it might set you back and you will not be able to achieve all the levels of greatness. And so he encouraged me to do more, to be more, and to continue to push myself.
As media personalities, or is the media doing more harm than good to the industry, the creative arts industry, with some of the comments that we make?
It would be unfair to say they are doing more harm than good. I think that what would be fair to say is we need to have a direction that is intentional. Because when you travel outside, everything they do is intentional. A TV show and what comes on is intentional because they know it drives the country, and so we should be intentional. I don't think we are intentional. Individuals are intentional, but as an industry, we are not intentional as to where we are going, what we hope to attain with the industry.
Why do you think that is so?
Because I think structure-wise, we are not there. I also think that people are not professionals in whatever field they find themselves, but they're only on board because they've been around the ecosystem for some time, and so by default, they become maybe an A&R with no real background or no science to it. Somebody becomes an artist manager and doesn't take a course in international relations, and so doesn't know how the terrain works. And so you can't entirely blame the industry, but I mean, we're at a stage and it's a process, so we'll continue to grow and evolve.
Speaking of being intentional, I see that you have been intentional with your brand this year. I mean, you literally were out of the country for quite a while trying to make the right connects, you know, meet industry people out there and work with them. Jim Jones is one of them, and a couple of them. Tell me about this prolonged stay in the States and how that's impacted your brand. Okay,
so let me be clear to all my side chicks. I'm not permanent in the States. I go and I come. Shouts to my wife. I go.
Which is why I was wondering, why did you not give that side note to your wife first of all before the side chicks?
Because a lot of people think I stayed outside the country for long. I go for 4 weeks, I come back to Ghana.
But you stay on the low and then you go again?
On the low will be relative. I think it's media that's not blowing me up.
Oh.
Yeah, because there's nothing on the low for an artist. I am sure that if I come back to Ghana and I take off my pants on Instagram, the whole country will hear of me.
Yeah.
Right? So I make it about my music, and I make it about really positive things. And drama drives media, and I don't do all the drama and all the sentimental stuff. And so that's probably the reason why it may look like I am on the low.
You think that's the reason?
Because if I'm out there and the police arrest me, the whole Ghana media will hear it.
Yeah, but if you're out there and you're working with artists,
nobody will hear it. If I come here and I steal something, it will be in the media. If I have a scuffle with another artist, or if I drop a song and I diss an artist today, every media house will play it.
So you expected the media to blow up a lot of the things you were doing, and that wasn't happening. How did you address that?
No, I'm not expecting the media to blow up because I don't think that I have to be that entitled.
Okay.
Because it's a business and you have to be strategic. And one of the things I had a reservation on, which my team raised to me, has to do with you. So when LA, and you reach out to me, that you wanted access to an event, right? And then I'm like, let me pull the call through, let the people get you in.
Yeah.
And then my team calls me from Ghana and say, Edem, you told us this, but when Bella came, she didn't make news article on you on TV3, but she made it on another Ghanaian artist. And I'm like, I love my sister, but I'm sure it didn't even cross her mind that I gave the access, but when it came to highlighting, she didn't highlight me.
I mean, but did you explain to them that, to be fair, there was even supposed to be an interview with you and that didn't happen as well?
No, I just told them that I'll have a conversation with you because the kind of relationship we have, it's not about pettiness. You know, it's about being practical. And so I am saying that I was walking in the Grammy, and I don't want to mention names, Wes Cody, the guy who shot the Genius for Kanye West, said, guys, I want to go to Ghana. And the Nigerian quickly said, no, don't go to Ghana. That's not the heart of the music. Come to Nigeria. And I can bet my life that a Ghanaian will not do the same in the situation. If he heard somebody saying, I want to go to Nigeria, he wouldn't say, come to Ghana.
What did you say to him?
No, I wasn't part of the conversation. Oh,
you weren't? Okay.
But I'm saying that a Ghanaian might probably say, oh, go to Nigeria. So I got a phone. I
don't think so.
No, I mean, this is something. No, this is something very cultural and embedded in our DNA. That's not to say everybody, but a lot of the times we foster and validate foreign things compared to who we are. Because today, if we were to tell somebody 3 years ago that you will be on Global Citizen, I can tell you that 9 out of every 10 people will say, who is Bella? that is who we are, and it runs through our DNA, not because we are deliberate about it, but because we are social people and not capital people. What do I mean by that? Over here, because we are social, we exchange help. When you travel outside, because they are capital, they exchange money and value.
Yeah.
So in Ghana, somebody say, you know what? Every time I've been helping you, but when it was your birthday, you didn't invite me. I'm not supposed to invite you because you've been helping me. But that is who we are. Or, oh, she's so nice to me, I think I should give her a job. That shouldn't be the reason you give somebody a job.
Yeah.
You give somebody a job because they will be capable of delivering. But you travel across the globe, it's value. So, oh, I want to give you a job because if I give you $10 and you work in my company, you make me earn 20. And so... And so over here, we exchange more emotions and sentiments. And so if I pay Bella to do PR for me, and I also get value for the PR, we have a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
But if I think that Bella is my friend so much, she has to talk about me, then I harbor sentiments. And I think we have to move from being very social people to a group of people who exchange value. Charlie, I need you to come and do this. I'm paying you for it. Even if you cannot pay, let's sign a contract because you came through for me. When I also need you, you're going to come through for me.
Absolutely. Now, if we're talking about Grammys, we should still talk about this. I mean, just a few months ago, they introduced, you know, or they added more categories.
Yeah.
And of course, we have the likes of Ghanaian high life music, etc., being considered.
Drill.
Exactly, for it. What did you make of that?
I think that it just speaks to the fact that Africa is rising, period.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it means.
Yeah, it means Africa is rising. It means we are getting the attention of the West. The only thing I think we shouldn't do is we shouldn't lean on the validation of the West. We should be proud of ourselves and celebrate ourselves and not wait for anybody. That's not to say the Grammy is not prestigious, but we should not wait for only that validation. And so we should know that our footballer is talented way before a team comes for them. We should know that our boxer is talented way before a team comes for them.
Yeah, that's important. That's important. Tell me about your studio session with Jim Jones.
So we had conversations. Of course, I'm a huge fan of Jim Jones, Cameron, and Joel Santana. So we had conversations. I invited him to Ghana, told him all the people that come here in December, and told him specifically to come to Labadi Beach.
No.
Yeah, I told him he should visit Labadi. I don't want him to go to the bougie places like all these hotels. No.
Let's go in Kinky and Fish and
come to Labadi Beach or Kokobite or Nima, where so that you see the love and the heart of the people of the country.
Indeed. And you're working on music together.
No comments.
Are you working on music together? Have you worked on it already? When is it coming out?
I can show you better than I can tell you.
Okay, so we should wait. That means it's confirmation that they've worked on music together.
No, we are not confirming anything because when you speak, you also know that there are people who don't wish you well. So
forget them. They are not good.
No, I'm really aware of them.
They are not good. They can't do anything.
And then we're also in LA to meet Swiss Beats at the Grammy Theater. That was a conversation with Paul Exton, who is the producer of Narcos, the movie on Pablo Escobar.
Oh, okay.
So he invited me to come to LA.
I see.
Because they were doing the launch of The Godfather of Harlem by Forrest Whitaker.
Okay.
And then I went there and I went to meet Swiss Beats.
Yeah.
And, you know, we had an extensive conversation. And one of the things that blew my mind is his favorite Ghanaian artist is Ebo Taylor.
What?
Yes. To the extent that he sampled Ebo Taylor's music in The Godfather of Harlem.
I see.
Then I'm there thinking to myself, that means if 10 years ago, Swiss Beat had come to Ghana to tell Ghanaians that high life is very good, before everybody would go like, oh, wow, what we have is really important. And so we spoke, and then these are relationships that you have to water, you have to build, you have to also organize money to fly back, because flying from the east to the west coast, Charlie, you know, be beans. You know, be beans. You take one trip, $1,006. Another
it's
trip.
Crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, so if you're out there, you're an investor, reach out to us. Ghana music is going to blow the globe, and nobody can stop it.
I was going to ask that, because
some meaning.
He was here and he was talking about, you know, the investors and the fact that, Charlie, there are a lot of guys who have the money, but they say they don't understand the music industry, so they don't see why they should invest their money into the industry. Do you come across such people? Do they say the same thing?
Yeah, I come across people who don't understand. It's okay not to understand. It's such a big industry that an investor cannot understand it. What we need is to build bridges between investors and machines that understand it. Because as big as Davido is, he's with Sony.
Yeah.
Sony understands the ecosystem. And so if a Ghanaian investor can have a conversation with Sony on the behalf of an artist, then there is a conversation.
So that's the link that we should
That's the
work
link
towards.
that I think we should work on.
Okay.
And we should work on it on a global level, because the labels and this industry giants don't work with, oh, I think I filled Labadi Beach. How many people came? 30,000 people. How do you know 30,000 people came? Oh, didn't you see them? No, they don't work with that. They work with tickets and headcounts and data. They want to know where the music is being consumed. And sorry to say, we don't have that in Ghana. You don't know where the music is being consumed. You don't know the number of people you can get at the venue. So those are the conversations where we need to build bridges for the investor to say, we'll partner with Empire or we'll partner with Def Jam, for Def Jam to be able to onboard you and carry you forward whilst we invest, because the music space is so complicated and has so many layers. I don't think money is enough to break through. You need the right heads.
Are you working towards getting signed onto one of these international labels?
I think that being an independent artist is not the ideal thing to be able to win the war of breaking the global stage.
Is it?
Yes, it's not, because these labels have conversations with powerhouses. I was at the Instagram Meta office in New York to visit the Instagram office, and I told the guy that, Charlie, the Instagram page, the main Instagram page, you guys know if you post my song for them. He was like, these conversations come directly from Universal to Meta, not from an individual into Instagram, and these labels have offices, they have reps in every country across the world. And so, yes, signing the deal opens the door faster, and I can beg to differ that nobody on the continent is more talented than the Ghanaian artist. The difference is the resources and the machine. Because if you have a label that can put your music everywhere the same day, you would reach the same people and make the same impact. And so,
but these record labels are also looking out for themselves first before looking out for the artists, which is why, for example, Blacko signed on a deal with Empire, and there was a whole hula baloo about how he had allegedly signed his life away. And so, yes, they want to bridge that gap, but they're doing it for themselves and not the artists necessarily, right?
I don't think anybody should do anything for somebody else. It's a basic business. Blacko is from maybe Konongo. If you have a deal and somebody can give you $1 million, or you can give you $250,000 or $500,000, don't complain. They were signing the hip-hop artists the same way. When the game gets to a level where we make $3 billion and we become aware, we would be able to sit at the table and renegotiate. And so where we are, we have to understand where the conversation is.
And the fact that get in there first, and then after
get in there and make the deals, because
even if it doesn't necessarily favor you.
There's nothing like necessarily favor, because nobody in Ghana has signed Blacko. Nobody in Ghana. There are a lot of ghetto boys who are talented. You haven't signed him. Why do you have a problem somebody signing him and giving him peanuts? I don't understand. That's a double standard. You can sign him, and you can't let somebody sign him either. You think the person who is signing him is using him. That's the theory of Konongo Kaya, right?
It is, actually. Let's bring in the conversation about gatekeepers and the concern that it looks like, there are people who are sort of sidelining, not even sort of. Ghanaian artists are being sidelined on the daily by some gatekeepers. And so they're looking out more for maybe the Nigerian artists than the Ghanaian artists, and that's also creating problems.
Gatekeepers in the music industry are ignorant. They don't know the value that an artist thriving will bring to the ecosystem. Also, the problem gatekeepers have is that the gatekeepers in the industry are not creatives. And so they don't know how to foster and be a crystal catalyst to artists blowing up. I'll cite an example. Because Jay-Z is an artist,
yeah,
and Dame Dash has so much love for hip-hop, they were able to onboard Rihanna. They were able to onboard Kanye West. Now, most of our gatekeepers, either somebody has gone to school for a bit, they come in the media space, then they hold a position of interest.
yeah.
And so they won't foster they won't foster the growth of true artists. They will foster the growth of people whose interest lies with theirs.
Yeah.
And so that is a mitigating factor. And once again, I speak about value because we don't exchange value. A gatekeeper doesn't see what he will make from an artist. When the artist says, I think that, or maybe the artist uses a foul word to the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Because there's no exchange of value, he's more emotional than objective. And so I think that once we begin to have money conversations, you can even tell a gatekeeper to go to hell, but if he knows there's $1 million on the table for us all to split,
He'll still stay.
he will still stay, and then we'll make it happen. So let's make it a money conversation. If it's not about money, don't call my phone.
Not at all.
No, not at all.
Are you working with some major Ghanaian artists at the moment?
I've done some stuff with Kenata and Famia. I can't wait for people to hear.
Ah!
Yeah, I have some crazy record with Kitty.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
it's an insane song. I can't wait for the fans to hear.
Are these all dropping this year?
The year is closed.
Oh.
We Don't Really Care out,
Yeah.
and it's only like a month and a weekend, so we still need to market. I have some stuff with Camido.
Okay.
I mean, I will always work with my Ghanaian brothers.
Exactly. How's the song doing so far?
It's doing great. The response has been awesome. People think it's something different from what they know for me.
Okay.
But anybody who says that is somebody who hasn't spent time in the studio with me. So I expected that. And I think because I'm coming from a hiatus where I haven't released any
while,
major music in a
yes.
while, that may be the reason. But this is one of a lot of doses of music on the way. So
But you said the year has already closed, so that means this is for the rest of the year, and then 2024 is when we hear a lot more bangers.
no, so usually when you say you won't release, you can have major singles and you
And
can
then
throw
have a
in
couple of-
you can throw in a single that is just for the core fans.
I see.
And still be promoted.
Is Filter there? Can we drop the new one? Have you guys heard the new one yet? Oh, you haven't heard it? Where have you
I
been
could
in
teach
this
you the
world?
dance.
Okay, so we're gonna
Yeah.
have to do it.
It's very easy.
Let's learn it.
Play the record. So when you hear We Don't Really Care, you go here. We don't really care.
Really care. We don't really care.
Then you pop.
We go pop champagne. Oh, so you didn't choose my own. My own was like this. You didn't choose that one.
no. You have to do and you have to pop.
Oh, okay.
Then you go back like this.
We don't. Okay, let's go. Let's start again.
Hey. Hey. Gay, gay.
We don't really care.
Yeah, yeah.
We go pop champagne. Oh,
We don't really care. KK, we don't really care. Pop, pop.
we go pop champagne.
Me and my girls on a Saturday.
Hey.
Pull up in the Benz cause the money day. Money finish, we go some way. Money come. Are you ready? We are going to the right place, so. Cause we don't really care. Really care. We don't really pop, pop.
We go pop champagne.
We don't really care. KK. We don't really care.
We go pop champagne. Okay.
How many routines have you learned on this show?
Listen, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But that's the brand new one from Edem. We're taking a quick break. When we get back, we'll talk more about We Don't Really Care, Edem Fest, and play a game. Don't go anywhere.